This part starts and we see that many people are dead. And Feng is also there at that place, who is watching all these things. Just then he hears someone's voice, perhaps he recognizes that voice. And when he looks ahead, he sees a man who is killing someone. And that man is taking the name of Feng only. And the one who kills him is none other than the evil form of Feng. And Feng's evil form would have killed that man. And seeing this, Feng is saying, "This is the last life. When I went crazy, is this a dream?" And then Feng hears someone's voice, and that voice is saying, "You bastard! You still don't want to stop yet. Xiao Yifeng, are you crazy? You murdered your own sect members and also murdered Brother Su. You murdered your own master." And the evil form of Feng is saying, "I murdered the master? No, how could I?" And that voice is saying, "You still dare to talk nonsense when you're overflowing with the demonic energy. Today I'll kill you in order to avenge for sect members and Brother Su." And Feng is trying to control himself, but the evil form inside him does not allow him to do so. Then Feng says to that voice, "Hey, it's me who did it, so what? You all must die today." Then that voice sends some of his companions to catch Feng. And a huge explosion occurs at that place. And Feng is seeing all these things, and he is thinking, "In my last life, I was corrupted by a demonic remnant soul who had passed through the tribulation period, and I was forced to live with him." And Feng's evil form survived the attacks of all those people. And he is trying to escape from that place, and he is saying, "Is that all the Wentian sect is capable of?" And those people are saying, "Chase him. Everyone, no need to hold back anymore, life and death don't matter." Feng is thinking, seeing all these things, under various coincidences, was disturbed by him, fell into madness, and even shouldered the accusation of killing my master. "Mo Tianding, you entangled me for half of my life." Then Feng's dream breaks, and he comes to his senses, and he is saying, "I will never spare you." And Feng has Meiking, and Meiking is very surprised to hear Feng's words. And she is saying, "Are you really unwilling to forgive me?" "Wu, junior brother. I was wrong, you know. How about giving me a good beating? I won't fight back, I promise." And then hearing all those voices, Suqiani's wife comes to that place. And seeing Feng conscious, he calls out to Suqiani. Then we see, Feng is asking Meiking, "How long have I been sleeping?" And Meiking tells, "You've been sleeping for 10 days. Feng makes a strange face and then says, "What? 10 days? Then suddenly Suqiani comes to that place, and he is asking, "Xiao Yifeng woke up. How is he doing?" Seeing Suqiani, Feng tries to get up, but Suqiani tells him, "No need to get up, I just came to check on you." Then Suqiani's wife says to Feng, "Xiao Feng, thank you for saving Miaoqing. If it weren't for you, I would have regretted it for a lifetime." And Feng tells them, "Mahat simple did net for disciples should do." And Feng is thinking, in the dream of past life, I was being pursued by the sect for killing my master. It's surprising waking up to such a scene. Then Suqiani says, "Madam, please take Miaoqing out first. I have something to say to Xiao Yifeng." As soon as Meiking hears this, she says, "Why? I also want to stay. Don't try to make things difficult for him." And Suqiani's wife says to Meiking, "Be good, your father just wants to express gratitude to Xiao Feng. You know he values his pride, and we're in a situation where he can't let go." And Feng says to Suqiani, "Master, is there something you want to say?" So Suqiani says, "What's your relationship with Master Guanghan?" And Feng says, "Master, why do you ask such a question?" So Suqiani says, "Learning that you got injured, she made a special trip and exercised considerable effort. She mentioned that you had helped her before." "What does that mean?" And Feng is surprised to know this, and he says, "What, she specifically came?" "Ah, Master, actually it's just a very small matter. I can't believe Senior Guanghan still remembers that. I mentioned before that when a Guanghan senior encountered me, our village had already been destroyed by a wolf demon. Back then, Senior Guanghan had disguised herself as an ordinary person and was trapped by the wolf demon. Be careful. Leave quickly. I will deal with these monsters. Hurry. If you don't leave it will be too late. You helped me, next I will help you. What do you mean? Girl, are you scared? I didn't know at that time that Senior was a powerful being, and later Senior rescued me. And after hearing all this, Suqiani sleeps for a while, then he says, it turns out that although he is immortal, he has a heart to save the world. You did well. And Feng laughs and says, haha master, thank you very much. And Feng is thinking, it's fortunate that the process of meeting in the previous life with the mother can help explain things. And Suqiani says, however, this time she spent quite a bit of money. In the future, if you meet her again, be sure to treat her with courtesy. And Feng says, Master, rest assured, I will remember this kindness deeply. And Suqiani says, that's good. Take good care of yourself. I won't disturb you further. Then Feng says, farewell, Master. And Suqiani says while leaving Miao Qing's matter, thank you. And Feng says about Suqiani, TSK, this old arrogant. Just then Feng sits down. And he is thinking something, then he is saying, accepting such a favor from heaven this time, it seems I need to accelerate the pace of improving my cultivation. Although soft rice is delicious, it also has to be hard, huh? My cultivation level has reached the 5th level of training? Perfect timing. Reaching the 5th level of Qi training is the threshold for performing the feather fall technique. There's a place. I can finally go now. After this we see the night scene, and in this dark night, Feng is going somewhere very fast. And he reaches a peak, and looking down he is saying, it should be at this location. Then Feng jumps down from the peak. And he is going down fast. And only then he sees something, then he uses one of his techniques. And reaches that place. Then he says, that's great. This place is still there. If I hadn't reached their 5th level of Qi training, I really wouldn't have been able to come to this place. And as he moves forward, he sees a skeleton. And he also has a sword. And Feng looks at him and says, this is the legacy left by a cultivator in the Mahayana realm. This should be the place where an enemy of the Wentian sect was located before their death. As long as someone inherits these techniques, they are bound to soar to new heights. You must be thinking so, right? And Mo Tianqing. Then Feng burns that skeleton. But the fire has no effect on that skeleton, and seeing this Feng says, so enduring, huh? Fine, I'll stay here and burn your bones completely. But then something tells Feng, wait a minute, little friend. And a spirit comes out of that skeleton, and she says, is the young one also a disciple of the holy sect? Why do you know this seat's name? Perhaps, we are from the same sect. But Feng directly attacks that spirit with fire. And that spirit survives Feng's fire with great difficulty. And Feng tells him in spirit, Mo Tianding, O Mo Tianqing, look at yourself now, truly shameless. Despite once being a cultivator beyond the nascent soul stage, now you bow and scrape before a refiner, forfeiting any semblance of dignity. How about I help you find relief sooner rather than later? And Feng attacks that spirit with a talisman, and seeing this the spirit says, a soul-breaking talisman specifically targeting the primordial spirit. You've come for me. And that spirit is able to escape from the talisman with great difficulty. And he is saying, little friend, we have no grievances or enmity. Why do you treat me like this? And Feng says to that spirit, you don't remember me? We used to be very familiar with each other. And that spirit is thinking, darn it. If this continues, I will perish here. I must find a way to escape. Then that spirit starts running very fast, avoiding all the attacks of Feng. And he says to Feng while running, today, I'll take note of this grudge, whoever you are. In the future, I will surely repay this debt. And as soon as he goes ahead, he gets surprised, because there is an array formation in front of him, which he cannot cross. And seeing this, Feng is smiling, and he says, how does the taste of the 8 trigrams soul-locking array feel? It's something prepared quite thoroughly for you this time. And Mo Tianqing, today I will not let you go. And Feng is thinking, in the previous life, this scoundrel almost took over me. Cultivation, causing me to lose my sanity for half a lifetime, occasionally falling into bouts of deviation. Then that spirit says, damn. You, a Qi refiner, don't appreciate my gesture. I'll make you understand the consequences. This it will swallow you today. The spirit then moves forward to attack Feng, but Feng smiles seeing her coming towards him. Then he calls that sword towards him, and says, "The sword that slays immortals, the Meladshur extermination's sword." And Feng takes a slash from that sword, due to which the spirit gets cut into 2 parts. And that spirit starts disappearing, and he is saying, "Why can you control the myriad spirit extermination's sword?" Then Feng starts tying that spirit with the help of a chain. And that spirit is saying, "The Tao Heart Lock of the Wentian sect. Are you from the Wentian sect? Darn it! Even if I'm reduced to ashes, I'll drag you down with me. This is the soul departure cone from my holy sect." And Feng starts using his power. Seeing which the spirit gets surprised, and he says, "The Heart Sutra of the Formless Temple. Its nature is inherently pure and clear. It inherently possesses completeness, originally without birth or extinction. Originally unshakable, it gives rise to a myriad phenomena." Wait! Little friend, please hear me out. And Feng says, "Oh? Do you have anything else to say?" And that spirit says, "Little friend, I presume you also come from a prestigious background. You should know how many treasures a Mahayana cultivator possesses. I can reveal their locations to you in exchange for my life." And Feng says, "It does sound quite appealing, doesn't it?" And the spirit says, That's right. As long as you spare me, all those treasures in the future will be yours. Friend, with your broad knowledge, you must be in great need of various cultivation resources." And that spirit is thinking, "Give me a little more time, and I can break free from this damn Tao heart lock." And Feng says, "What you say makes sense. After I've eliminated you, I'll find an opportunity to claim those resources you left behind." And then a huge explosion occurs at that place. And Feng looks at that thing and says, "Huh? This is, within me, what is devouring the power of Mo Tianing's soul." And the lotus flower comes in Feng's hand. And Feng looks at it and says, "This lotus flower, what exactly is it? In my previous life, I was almost taken over by Mo Tianing, and it was with it that I preserved my self-awareness. It's just that at that time, it was only a bud. Forget it, I'll find out eventually. I can time travel back to the present. Maybe it's related to this thing. Now, what's most important is, of course, it's bag licking. This book, I don't know what material it's made of. It surprisingly doesn't burn. In this day and age, everyone uses jade slips. Only those old-school sects still rely on written records. Obviously, such precious artifacts should be under my care. This thing is quite valuable. It seems to be a high-quality defensive magic tool. I definitely shouldn't waste it. And there's also a storage ring. This is a jackpot." And then that sword comes to Feng, and Feng is looking at it, and he is saying, "Immortal slaying sword. This sword might not be a good sign. The immortal slaying sword, undoubtedly an ominous weapon, born in the midst of endless slaughter. This weapon is exceptionally powerful, and many have fought fiercely to claim it. However, those who finally obtains it, almost all of them end up having their soul power mercilessly drained by it, not a drop left. The reason Mo Tianing looks like that is also thanks to this sword. Hee. Well, if that's the case, let's meet again in the future." Feng starts leaving this place quickly, but the sword quickly appears in front of Feng. And that sword is saying to Feng, "You smell really nice." Then that sword transforms, and she says to Feng, "Your soul smells delicious. Can I take a bite?" And Feng gets very scared after seeing him, and he is telling him with the sword, "Cough, cough. I'm not enough for you right now. How about this? Follow me, and when I am a bit plumper, then you can take a bite. Sound good?" And Feng is nervously saying in his mind, "Whoa. Danger, danger. If this thing takes a bite, I'm afraid I'll be drained dry on the spot." And that sword further says, "Follow you? Are you suggesting I acknowledge you as my master? But you're so weak. Why should I follow you? Wouldn't it be better if I just eat you?" And Feng says, "Well, there's a reason for that. Look. At least I'm much more handsome than that skeleton frame, right?" And that sword says, "That makes sense. All right, The decision is made. I'll follow you for now. I'm so tired. I'll take a nap. Got it. Next time I wake up, you want me. Then that sword transfers into its sword form. And it comes into the hands of Feng. Then Feng keeps it in his storage ring. And he says, still relying on handsome guys, huh? This trip was finally not in vain. In this ring, there are actually several hundred top-grade spirit stones. I'm off. This should be enough for me to cultivate for quite a while. Then Feng leaves this place. And after this the scene shifts and we see Icefield Polaris Northern Empire City. And a girl is saying, next up, the next item is the Dragon Guarding Body Jade Pendant. This jade pendant was crafted by a senior cultivator before transcending the tribulation. It requires no spiritual energy activation and can exert the protective power equivalent to a three-dimensional nascent infant stage without the need for any cultivation. Opening bid, 500 high-grade spirit stones, and after listening to that girl, some people are saying, it's just something for the younger generation, yet it's starting at such a... Exactly. This thing is unnecessary for high-level cultivators. It's too extravagant for the younger generation. I wonder who would buy this thing to give it to their disciples. What a joke, unless they're their own flesh and blood. After listening to those people, the girl is saying, starting at 500, is there really no one interested? This item is already quite a good deal. Then suddenly someone bids Rs. 600, and hearing this the girl becomes very happy. Then that girl is saying, the fairy Guanghan from the Wentian sect bids 600 spirit stones. Any higher bids? And as soon as all those people see Guanghan, they become very surprised. And Guanghan is smiling, and she is thinking, this item does seem to suit him perfectly. And to Guanghan he tells the Dragon Guarding Body Jade Pendant is available. And looking at him she is saying, when I return, that guy should be getting ready for the law enforcement team training. And she is thinking, there should still be time for him to join. Then Guanghan's servant says, who do you think is the jade pendant for? Could it be for you? And the other servant says, don't say that randomly. I thought it might be for you. And while they are all going ahead, they hear a man's voice. And he says, dear fairies, please stay for a moment. Then Guanghan says to the man, so, you're the city lord of the Northern Empire City. May I ask what brings you here? Then we see that man. And this man happens to be City Lord of the Northern Empire City, Lin Tianru. And the City Lord says, Fairy Guanghan has just participated in the auction for a while. Are you leaving already? We still have many treasures to showcase. If the fairy is interested. But Guanghan doesn't pay much attention to what he says, and while passing by her she says to him, no need, I'm not interested in other treasures. City Lord, you may leave. And seeing them going, the City Lord tries to stop them. But those three do not listen to the City Lord. And those people go ahead. But the City Lord comes after them, and says to them, I wonder which beloved disciple the fairy bought the jade pendant for earlier? I happen to have a bottle of jade dew pill here. Perhaps it could be a gift for. And seeing such action of City Lord, Guanghan's servant places the sword on City Lord. And she says to both City Lords, City Lord, please don't move. Please don't make things difficult for us. And now the City Lord can't do anything, it just watches them go. And he is saying, even the disciples are so heroic. And then someone comes behind the City Lord, and places his hand on the City Lord's shoulder. Then he says, what are you looking at? They've already left. And City Road looks at that guy and says, hey Lao guy. If you're not participating in the auction, what are you? What is happening here? And the guy says, hey, auction is not as entertaining as watching fairy-like beings, right? And the City Lord says, don't talk nonsense, I'm just here to send her off. But the man is saying, alright, we're all old acquaintances. I don't know you yet. You've been eyeing Fairy Guanghan for quite a while, haven't you? And the City Lord says, cough, cough. It's just admiration. And the man says, unfortunately, I heard she's not interested in any man, otherwise I might as well give it a shot, I'm out. Going back to check out the auction. You might as well give up on that hope. And after listening to that man's words, the City Lord is saying, not interested in men, huh? Then after this the scene is set and we see Wentian sect Wuxia Palace. And a girl is saying to Xiang Tiange, I pay respect, senior brother. And Xiang Tiange says, is my junior brother out of seclusion? And the girl says, not yet, the young master has been in seclusion for a month. And Xiang Tiange says, I understand. Then I'll come to meet him later. As Xiang Tiange moves ahead, he sees that a very bright light is emanating from a place. And seeing him, Xiang Tiange says, it seems he is out of seclusion. Then Xiang Tiange starts going there. And Feng asks Xiang Tiange to come inside. And Xiang Tiange goes inside. And as soon as he goes inside, Feng attacks Xiang Tiange. And seeing this, Xiang Tiange also gets ready, and he also prepares his stomach, and stops that attack. And Xiang Tiange is very happy, saying, yes, little junior brother, it seems that you are already very familiar with the strength of the 7th level of Qi training. And Feng says, senior brother is mighty, directly dispersing my sword Qi with a single punch. And Xiang Tiange says, hee, the power just now was quite impressive. It shows you haven't been slacking off during this time. I can rest assured for the upcoming law enforcement team training. And Feng says, law enforcement team training? Then Xiang Tiange tells Feng, yes, according to our sect's regulations, disciples with cultivation reaching the 7th layer of Qi training must participate in the law enforcement team training as part of their experience. It's just that after you broke through to the 7th layer of Qi training, you've been in seclusion, so I haven't had the chance to tell you. This is yours token. It was sent to you a month ago. Remember, the law enforcement team training is a mix of all kinds of people. Be extremely cautious in your actions. If you encounter difficulties, use the secret technique to inform me directly. And Feng says, many thanks, senior brother. Then Feng is asking Xiang Tiange, senior brother, is there anything else? So Xiang Tiange tells, well, recently Miaoying has been busy advancing to the foundation establishment stage. The master and mistress hope she breaks through soon. 50 she might not have time to accompany you. Junior brother, please don't mind. And hearing this, Feng says, senior brother, please rest assured, I am sensitive. Then Xiang Tiange says, then I can rest assured. I need to go back to report, so I'll take my leave for now. And Xiang Tiange leaves that place. And Feng is saying, the senior brother has already left. Come out. And then Mei King appears hanging upside down, and she says, even senior brother didn't notice me. How did you know I was here? And Feng throws an apple towards her and says, do you really think senior brother didn't notice you? And Mei King catches that apple. And while eating that apple she says, what do you mean? So Feng says, the words senior brother said before leaving were a hint. Senior brother knew you were here. Him pretending not to notice means you being here was approved by the master and mistress. The translation is, if you say that you want to participate in training with me, something like that, it is absolutely a lie. Am I right? After listening to Feng, Mei King tells him, people like you can analyze so much from just one sentence. Are all of you this complete? And Feng says, do you think everyone is as naive as you? So, senior sister, did you really come here to see me off? Then Mei King says, I initially wanted to see if there was a chance for us to participate together in that training. But it seems my parents are keeping a close eye on me, so I'll have to focus on more serious matters now. Here, this is from my parents for you. And Mei King gives something to Feng. Like a sword. This is a top-quality fire-attributed spiritual weapon from my father. It not only possesses extraordinary lethality, but can also be used as a flying weapon. This is the Fire Crow formation from my mother. As long as there is spiritual power remaining, even enemies at the foundation building stage will find it challenging to break through. This is a collection of various useful items prepared by senior brothers and sisters for you. It has a bit of everything. Take your time to go through it when you have the chance. And Feng looks at those things and says, These are too valuable. What else did they say? Then Mei King says, my parents said, first, try not to cause trouble outside. Take care of yourself. Second, if you get into trouble, you better not lose the fight. Be more ruthless, so that those who dare to offend our Wuxia Palace will never dare to offend us again in their entire lives. And Feng laughs and says, you'll tell the master and mistress. I won't let them down, I promise. Then Mei King starts leaving, and she says, little junior brother, I'll head back now. I'll come visit you later. And Feng tells him, remember to thank master and mistress on your behalf. Then Mei King leaves from this place. And Feng is saying, I originally thought that if I had the opportunity in the future, I would find a way to go to Guanghan Palace to eat soft food. Now I seem to think that Wuxia Palace is just fine? Maybe I should think about it again. Speaking of which, wonder how Lu Hanyan has been lately. I haven't seen her since she saved me last time. Then after this the scene shifts and we see Jingguang sect. And a man is saying, ha! Guanghan is truly worthy of being the leader of the Wentian sect, I really admire you. Then we see Guanghan. And Guanghan is saying to them, you're too kind. There will be many matters for your sect to handle in the future. Then an elder says it's easy to talk about. By the way, do you want the real person to stay and visit? And Guanghan says, no, we still have important things to do. We'll visit again someday. Then the elder says, okay, no need for goodbyes. Take care on your way. Then Guanghan starts leaving that place, and seeing her leaving, the elder says to one of his servants, Mingguang informs the disciples that the sect was closed, and the mountain closed. And that servant says, Sect master. Didn't you previously tell Master Wentian that you would help them? And the elder is saying, Whether it's the demonic sect or the righteous faction, both want to win over neutral sects like ours. But I refuse to get involved in their mess. Follow me. And that servant says, yes, master. And after this we see Guanghan, which is going from that place. And she is saying to her servant, alas, how many more places do we have to visit? And her servant says, master, we still have 3 sects to visit. And Guanghan says, promises and words may not be of much use. Well then, let's proceed to the next one. And as they are all going forward, they are stopped by a man, and the man says, Fairy, we meet again. And we see it is none other than the city lord. The one who is wearing girls' clothes. Don't know what is going on in this mind. And that city lord is saying to Guanghan, I heard that the fairy dislikes men, so I changed my appearance. What does the fairy think? And as soon as those 3 girls see the city lord that he is wearing girls' clothes, all 3 of them get very shocked, and very angrily say to the city lord, get out. Off here. Then after this the scene shifts and we see Wentian sect disciple hall. And at this place 2 people are talking. And the first man among them speaks, Hi brothers, I heard that the harvest has been good recently? Then the other guy says, Hee, our team just hunted a 9-level chi-refining monster, gaining quite a few points in exchange. And then a man comes to that place. And when they see that man, they start talking about him, and they say, isn't that Tang Pei from Team B? Judging by his expression, it seems like he got assigned some unpleasant task this time. I heard they've been short-staffed in their team, and there's a core disciple who has not shown up. He's quite unhappy about it. Indeed, a core disciple. Quite enviable, isn't it? Then Tang Pei goes towards a room, and opens its door, and he comes inside. And we see 3 people sitting at that place, and one of them is a girl saying something to the team leader, and another man says to the team leader, What's the mission for our team this time? And Tang Pei tells them, Our team's mission this time is to patrol the Tianhe River. And this girl happens to be Lin Mi, disciple of the Wentian sect. And she says, Lin Mi, guarding the Tianhe River? Lately, the nearby monsters there are more aggressive than usual. And that other man is Zhu Ming, a disciple of the Wentian sect. And he says, because this is the time when the sect collects the inner cores of the azure-eyed wandering fish, those monsters naturally become aware of it. So, every time during this period, they are exceptionally alert. And that third man is Wentian sect disciple Li Lifeng. And he says, that elusive turtle keeps avoiding it. With just 5 of us, how are we supposed to patrol the Tianhe River? And then someone comes to that place, then he says, apologize for coming late. And Feng has come to this place. And he shows his token and he says, this is Team Ihai, right? I'm Xiao Yifeng. I've come to participate in the law enforcement team training. And seeing Feng, Tang Pei says to him, you're Xiao Yifeng? You're a month late. I need an explanation. And Feng tells them, I had just broken through the 7th level of Qi training and was still in retreat when I received the summons. So it was delayed for a while. After listening to Feng, Li Feng tells him, oh, trying to add some glamour, huh? You're just in the training stage, not the foundation establishment. Who goes into seclusion for a whole month at this level? If you're afraid, just admit it. Do you think others are fools? Looks like the Wuxia Palace really produces these elusive turtles. And as soon as Feng listens to Li Feng's words, he gets very angry. And he directly attacks Li Feng. Due to which Li Feng goes away and hits the wall, and Feng moves forward very fast to attack him. And seeing this, Li Feng gets very nervous, and at the same time, Lin Mi and her other man at that place also get surprised. And Feng's stomach is about to hit Li Feng. But then Tang Pei stops Feng from digesting, and he says to him, Xiao Yifeng, harming fellow disciples, aren't you afraid of violating sect rules? And hearing this, Feng says, ah. So, do you know about the sect rules? Were you deaf when he insulted my sect just now? Then Lin Mi comes forward and says, alright, calm down. Let's all be more composed. We're all from the same sect, there's no need to harm our harmony. And Feng says, that makes sense, Senior Brother Li. I'm not very good at talking. If I offend you next time, please don't mind. And Li Feng says, I remember you. And Tang Pei says, okay, now that Xiao Yifeng has arrived, let's divide into groups of 6 this time. There are a total of 4 tributaries of the Tianhe River that need inspection. Naturally, we will also be divided into 4 groups. Xu Ming and Lin Mi, you two will be a group. Li Feng, you and Ling Sisi are in a group. Xiao Yifeng, it seems like your strength is quite impressive. How about we each form a separate group? Is that okay with you? And Feng also agrees for this. But then a girl says, I object. And this girl is Ling Sisi, a core disciple of Wentian sect. And she says, I want to be in a group with Senior Brother Xiao. And hearing this, Li Feng says to Ling Sisi, junior sister, just now, I was suddenly approached, and didn't have time to unleash my spells. So Ling Sisi says, I know, although Senior Brother Li doesn't look good and isn't skilled in close combat, as long as he's prepared, he's still quite powerful. And after hearing this, Li Feng doesn't know what to say. Then Tang Pei says, understood, since it's junior sister's preference, you'll be teamed up with Xiao Yifeng. And Ling Sisi is happy to hear this. Then Tang Pei says, let's set out together then. And now all of them leave for their work. And after some time, we see both Feng and Ling Sisi are going together. And Feng is saying to Ling Sisi, why did Senior Sister Ling choose to team up with me? So Ling Sisi says, Senior Brother Li is really too ugly. I want to find someone pleasing to the eye. And hearing this, Feng is thinking, this junior sister's mouth looks like it's been covered with honey. Then Ling Sisi further says, although I heard that you are the most mediocre disciple in talent among the true disciples in recent years. I hope you won't be offended by my words, right? And Feng gets a little shocked after hearing this, and he is thinking, having lived this long without being beaten to death, it seems this woman is quite extraordinary. And Feng tells us about Ling Sisi, and he says, Ling Sisi, possessing exceptional talent, was born with the water attribute spiritual root and is a direct disciple of the Confucian Hall. Due to her sweet appearance and gentle personality, she is deeply liked by her senior brothers. At least until she opens her mouth. Master, senior brothers, welcome back. Did you fail to confess to senior sister again? Is this the 15th time? Does it mean senior sister isn't interested in you? Junior sister. Stop talking. Master, why is your hair thinning more and more? Is it because of old age? And Ling Sisi is saying in the present, as a result, when the enforcement team training started this year, Master and senior brothers happily sent me away in a hurry. Humph. Not a trace of reluctance was shown. And Feng says, well, cough, indeed, it's a bit much. Isn't it just being straightforward in speech? How could they treat you like this? And Ling Sisi says, exactly. Although my master said I should improve my composure a bit when encountering demonic beasts. It's not a big issue after all. And Feng says, not calm? What do you mean? And while both of them are going, someone is watching them. And Feng notices this thing and a huge frog appears in front of Feng. Seeing which Feng says, just a low-level demonic beast, and Feng says to Ling Cici, junior martial sister? But Ling Cici is not saying anything, but then she shouts very loudly, there's a demonic beast. And Feng gets shocked after hearing this. And Ling Cici screams very loudly, due to which Feng tries to cover his ears. And Ling Cici moves her hands vigorously and starts attacking here and there. And she is saying, go to hell, go to hell, go to hell. And Feng is very shocked to see such actions of Ling Cici, and he is avoiding Ling Cici's attacks, and he is saying, oops. Stay calm. You hit the wrong person. But Ling Cici is not listening to anyone, she is just saying, monster must die. And Ling Cici is doing many attacks. And then Ling Cici attacks the frog, due to which the frog falls away. And seeing this, Ling Cici calms down a bit, then she regains consciousness. And she starts looking around, and she is saying, ah wow. Senior brother. Where are you? Then Feng comes behind Ling Cici, and he says to Ling Cici, I'm here. And Ling Cici holds Feng's hand, and cryingly tells Feng, I got scared by the monster again. Indeed, monsters are really frightening. But Feng tells Ling Cici, are you sure it's you who got scared by it? And Feng is thinking, however, this fellow may be timid, but it can easily cast such large-scale area spells. Then Ling Cici tells Feng, the demonic beast is truly frightening. And hearing this, Feng is thinking, using this girl's offensive abilities against a single target feels like a waste. And Feng smilingly says to Ling Cici, well, junior sister, on the way, we hardly encountered any demonic beasts. And Ling Cici becomes happy after hearing this. Then after this we see some turtles, which surrounds both of them. And Feng is saying, oh no. It seems like we've stumbled into a den of demonic beasts. But Ling Cici gets scared again after seeing those turtles. And she starts using her power again, due to which all those she touches are killed. And after some time, some snakes come to that place, seeing which Ling Cici gets more scared. And she uses her power, due to which she kills many snakes. Then Feng takes out the spiritual stone from those snakes. And placing it on his hand, he says to Ling Cici, I have to say, this efficiency is really impressive. At this rate, the patrol should be completed very soon. This is the correct way for junior sister to use it. And Ling Cici says, senior brother, where exactly is that safe place you mentioned? And Feng says, don't worry, we'll be there soon. Just hold on a little longer. And then Feng notices something in the water and he says, huh? Are there still some fish slipping through the net? And we see, some movement starts happening in that water. And seeing her, Feng catches Ling Cici and starts running away from that place. And then a huge explosion occurs at that place. And as soon as both of them look in front, they become very surprised, because there is a huge beast at that place, and this beast is Foundation Establishment Stage Demonic Beast, Skynetting Crocodile. And Feng is very shocked to see that beast, and he says, Foundation Building Stage. And Ling Cici says nervously, how come there are foundation building monsters here? What should we do? And Feng starts running away with Ling Cici, and he says, retreat, there's no need to engage in a direct confrontation with this guy. Let's go back and seek reinforcements. But how could that crocodile let both of them escape so easily? He uses his power, due to which he creates a water tornado above the water, in which Feng gets trapped. But he pushes Ling Cici away, due to which Ling Cici gets saved. And Ling Cici gets very scared after seeing Feng trapped in the water storm. But Feng asks Ling Cici to leave this place. Then the crocodile starts pulling Feng inside its mouth, seeing which Feng takes out the talisman from him and uses it, due to which there is a huge explosion at that place. And Feng now starts running away from that place, and he is saying, fortunately, senior brothers and sisters provided a lot of treasures, used a bunch of talismans to blast open this water vortex. But we see that Ling Cici is trapped in the crocodile attack. And that crocodile is pulling Ling Sisi inside its mouth. And seeing this, Feng takes out another talisman from him, and he says, "It's really troublesome." And Feng throws that talisman in a direction. Then now both of them start going inside the stomach of that crocodile. And Ling Sisi is surprised to see Feng near her. Then the crocodile took both of them in his jaws. Then that crocodile now goes inside the water. And after some time we see that Ling Sisi is regaining consciousness. And she looks around, and she is very surprised. Where is she? Then Feng says to Ling Sisi, "Have you finally woken up? As you can see, we are currently inside that creature's stomach, and all around us is its stomach acid." And Ling Sisi says, "Senior brother, what should we do?" So Feng tells him, "The first thing we need to do." "Well, junior sister, do you want to change into a different set of clothes first?" And hearing this, Ling Sisi starts saying, I didn't bring any other clothes." So Feng tells him, "Use mine for now. We'll figure things out once we get out." And Ling Sisi asks Feng, "But how do we get out?" So Feng tells me, "I've already contacted reinforcements. This formation can protect us from stomach acid erosion. Now, we just need to wait for an opportunity." And Ling Sisi says, "Speaking of which, what kind of formation is this? It's so powerful." So Feng says, "My master gave it to me." "You're also a direct disciple. Didn't your master provide you with any life-saving stuff?" And Ling Sisi remains silent, and seeing her sad, Feng tells her, "I'm sorry, I misspoke." On the other hand, we see that Lin Mi and her companion are coming very fast to find Feng and Ling Sisi. And Lin Mi is saying, "The signal for reinforcements was just sent from here with this talisman." So Zhu Ming says, "Senior sister, there's a strong spiritual energy fluctuation here. There must have been a major battle just now. We need to be careful. It is best not to alert the snake in the grass." But then Lin Mi prepares a dangerous fire attack, seeing which Zhu Ming gets very surprised. And Lin Mi has made her attack above water, due to which a huge explosion occurs at that place. But Lin Mi attacks the crocodile directly, due to which a scream comes out of the crocodile's mouth. And Ling Sisi and Feng can also feel this. And Ling Sisi is saying, "Wow, senior brother." Shocked. So Feng said to Ling Sisi, "Don't panic, it seems someone is coming from outside and alerted this guy." And hearing this, Ling Sisi becomes happy and she says, "Is somebody coming?" "It his senior fellow who apprenticed with them." And Feng says, "Probably. It's just that the noise is a bit loud. Junior sister Ling, come closer to me. This guy seems to be angry." Then Zhu Ming tells Lin Mi, "Senior sister, what are you doing?" And Lin Mi says, "Don't worry, there are two of us, what can happen?" Then suddenly that crocodile appears in front of both of them, and seeing him Zhu Ming says, "It's a foundation building stage monster." And the crocodile moves forward to attack both of them, and seeing him Zhu Ming says, "He's coming, be careful." But then the crocodile starts having stomach pain, due to which he is unable to attack, and falls back into the water. And seeing this, Zhu Ming says, "Is there someone outside?" It's junior brother Zhao's voice. "Are you in the monster's belly?" And Feng is using his power, and telling both of them, "Junior sister Ling and I are both here, so we'll be fine for now. Only we may need your help to create an opportunity for us to come out. I will assist you by interrupting its spell casting while inside it." And hearing this, Lin Mi says, "Now, Zhu Ming." And Zhu Ming says, "Yes." Then both of them together attack the crocodile. And they injure that crocodile very much. And seeing this, the crocodile becomes even more angry. So now both of them together do a combination attack on the crocodile, due to which a huge explosion occurs. And after this, Zhu Ming says, "Did you win?" But that crocodile is not defeated yet. And the crocodile attacked both of them with its tail. But then he uses two swords and stops the crocodile's attack. And Li Fang and Tang Pei come to that place, and seeing them, Zhu Ming says, "It's the captain and vice captain." Then Tang Pei says to Zhu Ming, "How could you provoke such a beast?" So Zhu Ming tells, "Captain, junior brother Xiao and junior sister Ling were all swallowed by this monster. We need our cooperation to come out." And hearing this, Li Fang gets angry and says, "Nonsense. This is a monster in the foundation building stage. Xiao Yifeng is a waste. You can't even protect a woman with all your strength. Then Tang Pei says, prepare to form a formation. And Li Feng is surprised to hear this and he says, Captain, do you really believe what they say? And Tang Pei says, it's too late to go to the rescue now, you have to try. Don't forget, Ling Sisi is still inside. And hearing this Li Feng is saying, it's all that Xiao Yifeng's fault. Then all four of them together start forming a formation over the crocodile. And they are saying, Lin Mi, Xiaoyin. 33, Zhu Ming, Xiaoyang. Li Cube. And Tang Pei is saying, I know I am responsible for Taiyin. Xiao Yifeng, if you have any way to get out of trouble, it's best to do it now. And Feng says, the four symbols formation is pretty good. Junior sister Ling, I need you to do me a favor. And Ling Sisi says, what are you busy with? So Feng says, come on, give me your hand, I need to borrow your spiritual power. And Ling Sisi says, however, I have water attribute spiritual power, so I cannot help you support this formation. And Feng says smilingly, this is what I want. On the other hand, we see that all four of them together have created a huge formation over that crocodile, the formation of the four symbols. Kill. And Feng is using one of his techniques inside the stomach of that crocodile, and he is saying, water and fire are incompatible, but one day I met someone. And Feng would have activated that formation. Due to which there is a blast inside that crocodile, and there is a blast outside also. And after this we see that crocodile. And at the same time those four people come to that place. And Zhu Ming is saying after seeing that crocodile, is this guy dead? And Lin Mi says, where are junior brother Xiao and junior sister Ling? And Tang Pei senses both of them and he says, over there. And Feng comes out with Ling Sisi, and then when Li Feng sees Ling Sisi in Feng's lap, he shouts, Ling junior sister. Why? Are you wearing his clothes? And embracing him like this? And Ling Sisi is saying, senior brother Xiao, please put me down quickly. But Li Feng is getting very angry. Then Ling Sisi tells them, it's not what you think. My clothes were torn by a demonic beast, so brother Xiao helped me. And Lin Mi goes to Feng and says to him, hey, not bad, junior brother. Do you want me to give you some assistance? But Feng says, no need, no need. I want to focus on cultivation for now. Then Lin Mi says, TSK. Turns out you're still a wooden fish head. And hearing this, Ling Sisi is getting angry, and we see Li Feng, the one who is getting very angry and is saying, isn't it just a demonic beast? And Li Feng goes to that crocodile and he says, if I had arrived earlier, I could have handled it too. It's all your fault. And Li Feng kicks the crocodile, due to which the crocodile wakes up. Seeing which Xu Ming gets scared and says, be careful, the demonic beast isn't dead yet. And that crocodile is releasing energy from within itself, and Tang Pei is saying after seeing this, not good. This demonic beast is going to self-destruct everyone, come to my location immediately, set up defensive formations. And Lin Mi says, at such a close distance, even with protective defenses it's. But then Feng moves forward to attack the crocodile, and takes out his token, and attacks the crocodile's eye with that token. Due to which that crocodile gets blasted at that place. And that crocodile is killed. And seeing this, Xu Ming is saying, is this the power of a foundation establishment stage demonic beast? And Ling Sisi says, doesn't seem formidable, does it? Then Lin Mi says, it's Xiao Yifeng who triggered the sect's internal token magical device, causing the demonic beast self-destruct to fail without building up enough power. This decisiveness is truly terrifying. And hearing Feng's praise, Li Feng is getting very angry, and he shouts, Xiao Yifeng, you've willfully damaged the sect's magical weapon and disobeyed orders. I will report this to the elder. Seeing Li Feng shouting at Feng, Lin Mi says, really shameless. And Tang Pei says to Li Feng, oh? Please go ahead. And Li Feng is about to say something else, but Tang Pei stops him and he says, everyone. There's a foundation establishment demonic beast appearing in the Tianhe sector. This is highly unusual, we must immediately report back to the sect. Then suddenly blood starts coming out of Feng's mouth, and seeing this Ling Sisi says to Feng, "Senior brother, what's wrong with you?" And Feng tells Ling Sisi, "It's nothing, I just suffered some injuries a moment ago." And Li Feng is happy to see Feng's bad condition, and he is saying, "You're not that strong either, serving you right for pretending." Then Feng tells them, "Let's go, don't delay any longer." And we see that Feng's hand is also bleeding. And after this they all come to another place. And all four of them are waiting for Feng and Tang Pei. And Ling Sisi is saying, "Why hasn't he come out yet? Senior Sister Lin, will the elders really make things difficult for Senior Brother Xiao? Should I go in and explain?" So Lin Mi says, "Don't worry, elders are not fools." But Li Feng is very angry, and he is saying, destroying the sex token, acting against orders, and nearly causing a major disaster. He has violated several sect rules at least. Elders wouldn't easily forgive such actions. Then Lin Mi says to Li Feng, "Do you think elders are as narrow-minded as you?" And Li Feng gets angry, but he doesn't say anything. After this Zhu Ming says, "They've come out." Then Tang Pei and Feng come out, and Zhu Ming is asking, "How did it go?" And Lin Mi says, "Has the elder given you any trouble?" And Tang Pei tells them, Junior Brother Xiao gained the appreciation of the elders. Not only were there no reprimands, but he also received considerable praise. Truly deserving as a direct disciple. Then Feng tells them, "Certainly, it's just that the elders have a discernment judgment, and won't base their decisions solely on one side of the story." And Lin Mi tells Feng, "Glad to hear things worked out. Should I join you for a drink? Junior Sister Ling will be there too, right?" And Feng says, "Let's do this next time. I have some urgent matters to attend to as well." "Sorry, Senior Sister." And Feng leaves that place. And Lin Mi, seeing Feng leaving, says, "Seems like this person lacks manners. What do you think, Junior Sister?" But Ling Sisi says, "Perhaps he has other matters on his mind." And after some time, Feng comes to another place. And blood is coming out of his mouth, and he is saying, "Jianxian, if you had just killed someone, it would have caused a big disaster." And then the sword inside him says, "Oh, I'm just hungry. Coincidentally, that sneaky-looking fellow caught my eye, and I thought of settling things for you. I didn't expect that you would rather use your own essence to feed me than let me kill him. You do have a soft heart after all." And Feng tells him, "You'd better put away the style of the demonic sect. Here, you can't casually kill fellow disciples, at least not in broad daylight. And that sword says, your so-called righteous disciples. They're just hypocritical, but well, I couldn't help but take a few more sips of yours essence just now, and you ended up getting hurt. Quite a messy situation, isn't it? How about I just drain you completely? Once you're dead, there won't be any more pain." And Feng sits on the ground, and he says, "Just squeezing me dry like this, wouldn't that be a one-sided deal, akin to killing the goose that lays the golden eggs? I have a better plan. Would you like to hear it?" And hearing this she says, "Sword, oh? Just to make it clear, I won't let go of your body." And Feng says, "How about you make a contract with me instead?" So that sword says, "Don't dream." Then Feng says, "Listen to me, I can address you as master. In the future, I'll be your sword's servant. Whenever you feel like devouring me, I'll be at yours disposal. Still not interested? Well, never mind then." Hearing Feng's words, she says to the sword, "Wait, who said I'm not interested anymore?" And Feng says, "Oh? So you agree?" And that sword says, "I'm just curious if you have any conspiracy plans." Then Feng says, "What conspiracy could I have you? I'm just a chi refining cultivator, struggling with even foundation establishment beasts. Who wouldn't want to find a backing? I just thought that in the future, if I cling to your thigh and encounter danger, you'd protect me. As form, I'd wholeheartedly serve you, diligently being your furnace." And hearing this the sword happily says, "Well, since you put it that way, I agree. Without further ado, let's start the contracty. This is the contract rune. Use your blood to inscribe it, and in yours mind, chant your name as the magical incantation. After signing the contract, your every move must obey my thoughts, otherwise you will definitely be counterattacked by the runes, and your life will be worse than death. You better not entertain any notions of luck even if you regret it now, I won't allow any changes. Then Feng says, don't worry, this is the moment I've been waiting for. And now Feng gets ready to make a contract with that sword. And he uses his blood, and seeing this the sword is saying, this will make me a lot of profit now. I don't know what's going on with this guy. He has so much spiritual power. Moreover, no one knows how he cultivates either following the righteous path, nor delving into evil path, nor embracing Buddhism. His spiritual energy is entirely of the purest essence. Someone like this will be my command from now on. And then Feng starts doing something, seeing which the sword gets surprised, and she says, no, wait. Hey, what kind of rune are you engraved on this? And Feng says, the rune of recognition, you told me personally. And that sword tells Feng to stop, but Feng does not stop. He is speaking. During the process of recognizing its master, the sword automatically generates a barrier to avoid external interference. This is the will of the sword itself. As a sword spirit, it is only natural for you to obey this. And hearing this, the sword is surprised, and she says, the sword's self-protection. This is the true master recognition rune. How is this possibility? No one else but myself can know my natal rune. But then something happens to the sword, which Feng is shocked to see. And he doesn't understand anything? But then the sword starts laughing, and she says to Feng, I knew it. Your meager amount of blood could never satisfy the demon-slaying sword. Stop immediately. And hearing this, Feng says, I see. It's just a mere drop of essence blood after all. And Feng uses his blood, and starts giving a lot of his blood to that sword. And seeing this, the sword becomes very shocking. And she is saying, Are you insane? That sword absorbs your vital essence. Do you really want to die? And Feng says to him, if I can't even pass this hurdle, what's the point of talking about salvaging anything? Then Feng starts donating too much of his blood, due to which Feng is suffering a lot. And a lot of energy is coming out from inside it. And Feng is very tired now. So he falls on the ground, and he becomes unconscious. Then that sword comes to Feng, and looking at Feng she says, my natal rune, if not voluntary, it would be impossible for others to know. But why do I have no recollection of this memory at all? You have no idea at this time. If I end up being swallowed by the runes, I may not have a chance to break free from this contract. Bastard, what happened to you and me before? Then after this we see Feng's future, and in the future that sword is in Feng's hands. And she is saying to Feng, Xiao Yifeng, there's no guarantee you'll survive this journey. Do you have any last wishes? I might consider helping you fulfill them? And Feng says to that sword, Zhan Xian, you've been proving to truth acknowledge me as your master. If I don't die in this battle, how about you recognize me as yours master instead? And that sword says, it's rare for this generation's demon king to still have the heart to joke at this time. But I do enjoy this bet. This is my natal rune. If you really survive, well, it's not impossible to give you a chance. Unfortunately, that would have to wait for the next lifetime. And let's end today's video. If you want to see next part, so please subscribe my channel. I will upload next part very soon. Till then, bye.